Have you ever felt like your body completely changed after turning 40? Even though you're eating better, working out, and giving intermittent fasting a try, the scale just won't budge. You're not alone. Studies show that up to 70% of women going through menopause report extreme difficulty losing weight. And what's worse, many blame themselves for something that actually has deep hormonal roots. So, what's really happening to your metabolism? Does intermittent fasting even work after 40? Or could there be invisible mistakes sabotaging your progress? In today's video, we're going to uncover that mystery. And more than that, I'll show you how to make intermittent fasting work for you, even with all the changes your body is going through in menopause. Get ready to finally understand why weight loss feels so hard, and what you can do to take back control with health, safety, and confidence. And before we dive in, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, okay? And drop a comment below, sharing your biggest challenge with intermittent fasting. Let's support each other through this journey. Why does intermittent fasting seem to work for everyone but you? You've probably seen fitness influencers on Instagram raving about losing 20 pounds in a month with intermittent fasting. Or maybe a younger friend started fasting and suddenly slimmed down like magic. Then you try it, and nothing happens. Or worse, you feel more tired, more irritable, and constantly craving sugar. There's a reason for that, and it starts with your body in transition. After 40, especially in the years leading into and following menopause, your hormones go through a full-blown transformation. What worked in your 30s just doesn't work the same way now, and that includes intermittent fasting. In the US, over 60% of women between 40 and 60 have some degree of insulin resistance, often without knowing it. And when fasting is done the wrong way, it can actually make that resistance worse. So instead of burning fat, your body shifts into survival mode and starts holding on to it. There's also a cultural factor. Many American women eat highly processed foods, have irregular meal times, and live under chronic stress, all of which directly interfere with fasting success. So if you feel like you're swimming against the current, it's not your fault. Intermittent fasting can absolutely work, but it needs to be adapted to your current hormonal, metabolic, and emotional reality. What menopause does to your metabolism, and no one told you. For many American women, menopause hits like a silent tsunami. You feel something shifting, more fatigue, stubborn belly fat, less patience, but you often don't get clear guidance from your doctor. Meanwhile, your metabolism quietly slows down without warning. During menopause, there's a steep drop in estrogen and progesterone, two hormones that play key roles in regulating metabolism, appetite, and fat distribution. Without them, the body stores fat more easily, especially around the midsection, which increases the risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and chronic inflammation. In the US, studies show that menopausal women gain an average of 2 to 4 pounds per year, even if they don't change their habits. That's because your basal metabolic rate, the number of calories your body burns at rest, can drop by up to 20% during this stage. And there's another silent enemy: muscle loss. With declining testosterone and reduced motivation or capacity to exercise, your body starts to lose muscle, the very tissue that keeps your metabolism active. Less muscle equals less fat burning. That's why for women 40 plus, weight loss is no longer just about eating less and moving more. You need to account for hormonal shifts, adjust your diet and lifestyle, and yes, treat intermittent fasting as a smart tool, not a punishment. Insulin resistance, the hidden villain of post-40 weight gain. You might be doing everything right, eating cleaner, practicing intermittent fasting, moving more, and still feel stuck. In many cases, the reason is something that doesn't hurt, doesn't show up clearly, but is silently working against you: insulin resistance. This happens when your cells stop responding properly to insulin, the hormone that helps move glucose into cells to be used as energy. When this process fails, your pancreas has to pump out more and more insulin, and consistently high insulin levels trigger fat storage, especially around the abdomen. In the US, about 1 in 3 adults has insulin resistance, and that number is even higher among menopausal women. Most don't even know it because routine blood tests often miss the early stages. Insulin resistance makes weight loss harder. But it's also linked to symptoms like constant fatigue, brain fog, intense sugar cravings, and unexplained weight gain. It's like your body is permanently stuck in fat storage mode. This is where intermittent fasting can help, but only when done the right way. If fasting is too intense or poorly timed, it can backfire and add more stress to your system. That's why understanding how your body responds to stress and hormone fluctuations is critical if you want fasting to work for you, not against you. And when chronic stress joins the picture, things get even more complicated. Cortisol, stress, and sleep, the invisible weight loss blockers. Picture this. You wake up tired, rush through your morning with a million tasks in your head, deal with traffic or an avalanche of emails, try to be good with food all day, and end of the day completely drained physically and emotionally. Sound familiar? This isn't unusual. It's the norm for many modern American women. But this fast-paced lifestyle activates a key hormone, cortisol, and when cortisol stays high for too long, it sabotages your body's ability to lose weight. Cortisol is your stress hormone. In small doses, it helps you stay alert. But when your body lives in constant survival mode, which is common during menopause due to emotional instability in life, pressures, cortisol shuts down, fat burning, increases belly fat, and throws off your hunger signals. The result? More cravings for carbs and sugar, exactly what disrupts insulin balance and fasting benefits. And to make things worse, there's the issue of sleep. Poor sleep, whether from insomnia, night sweats, or anxiety, raises cortisol even further. It reduces leptin, the fullness hormone, and increases ghrelin, the hunger hormone, creating a vicious cycle that's hard to break. That's why it's not enough to count calories or fast. It's for 16 hours a day. Your body needs to feel safe to release fat. And that sense of safety only comes when you honor your pace, your boundaries, and your hormonal balance. Managing stress and sleep is just as important as the fasting itself. The way a woman's body responds to fasting changes over time. That's why understanding what's going on biologically during menopause can completely shift your results. How intermittent fasting works in the female body during menopause. Intermittent fasting isn't just a diet, it's a metabolic strategy. And for women over 40, it works very differently than it does for men or younger women. When you fast, your body activates powerful natural processes like autophagy, a kind of cellular cleanup, and fat burning for energy. But for those benefits to kick in safely and effectively, your hormones need to be relatively balanced. During menopause, with estrogen and progesterone in decline, your body becomes much more sensitive to metabolic stress. That means long or poorly timed fasts can backfire, spiking cortisol, disrupting insulin further, and triggering symptoms like fatigue, hair thinning, brain fog, and out-of-control cravings. But when fasting is thoughtfully tailored to your hormonal phase, it becomes a powerful ally. It can improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, stabilize appetite, and even ease menopause symptoms like hot flashes and mood swings. The key? Personalization. What works for a 30-year-old in her reproductive prime won't necessarily work for a 52-year-old who's insulin resistant and running on 4 hours of sleep. And this is where so many women go wrong by following cookie-cutter protocols that ignore the reality of their body. And these mistakes are more common than you might think. Common mistakes that block your fasting results. Many women start intermittent fasting full of motivation but quickly feel frustrated when the scale doesn't move. And most of the time, it comes down to small, seemingly harmless mistakes that completely disrupt the process. The first mistake? Starting with fasts that are too long, too soon. If your body is already dealing with hormonal chaos from menopause, jumping straight into 18 or 20-hour fasts can be a shock. It spikes cortisol, increases anxiety, and often leads to binge eating later in the day. Another classic mistake, ignoring what you eat during your eating window. Fasting for 16 hours won't undo the effects of eating processed carbs, refined sugars, and inflammatory foods for the other 8 hours. Fasting doesn't cancel out a poor diet. It amplifies what you put into your body. One more, and it's especially common among American women, is not getting enough protein or essential nutrients. During menopause, you need more protein to preserve muscle and keep your metabolism working. Without it, your body starts breaking down muscle instead of fat, the exact opposite of what you want. And let's not forget the emotional trap. Using fasting as punishment for overeating. This creates a cycle of guilt and restriction that not only hurts your results, but also damages your relationship with food and with your body. Well-done fasting isn't torture, it's strategic self-care. And once you learn how to align it with your body's real needs and rhythm, results start showing up with more ease and more consistency. That kind of alignment makes all the difference. How to adapt intermittent fasting to your new hormonal rhythm. The key to making intermittent fasting work during menopause isn't intensity, it's strategy. The body of a 40-plus woman needs fine-tuning, hormonal respect, and a mix of firmness and flexibility. One of the most important adaptations: start slow. For many American women, a 12-12 or 14-10 protocol, meaning 12 to 14 hours of fasting and 10 to 12 hours of eating, can bring major benefits without stressing the system. As your body adjusts, you can gradually move to 16 to 8 or longer fasts, if appropriate. Another smart shift is syncing with your circadian rhythm. Having your main meals during daylight hours, roughly between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., helps regulate hormonal cycles, improves sleep, and boosts insulin sensitivity. This is especially helpful if you already struggle with sleep or energy dips. During your eating window, focus on high-quality protein, colorful vegetables, healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, and nuts, and low glycemic carbs. This stabilizes blood sugar, reduces hunger spikes, and enhances the benefits of fasting. Most importantly, listen to your body. If you're exhausted, sleeping poorly, or under heavy stress, honor that. Adjusting the frequency or length of your fasts during those days can prevent burnout, cravings, and energy crashes. Fasting isn't about extreme willpower. It's about metabolic intelligence. And remember, this stage of life doesn't require rushing. It requires precision. Adapting your fasting plan to your hormonal reality is a profound act of self-respect. And that's what creates real, lasting results, both physical and emotional. Simple strategies to boost your results safely and effectively. Now that you understand how intermittent fasting works in your body, it's time to apply simple, yet incredibly effective strategies that support your results with balance and well-being. Start with consistency, not intensity. Ease into fasting gently. A 14-10 protocol, 5 days a week, can already make a huge difference. You don't need to fast every day or push for long fasts to see results. Make hydration a top priority. Women in menopause are more prone to dehydration, which can trigger headaches, fatigue, and even increase hunger. Drink plenty of water and consider calming herbal teas, like chamomile or peppermint. They also help manage cravings and stress. Delay breakfast instead of skipping dinner. For many American women, dinner is a family ritual, and skipping it can create more emotional stress than benefit. A later breakfast might be easier to manage and just as effective. Try light movement during your fast. Morning walks, stretching, or gentle yoga can kickstart fat burning without overwhelming your metabolism. Skip intense workouts while fasting if you're feeling overly tired or sleep-deprived. Track your progress beyond the scale. Take photos. Notice your energy levels, your sleep, your mood, your overall vitality. True transformation isn't just about weight, it's about quality of life. Invest in sleep and emotional balance. Create a nighttime routine with fewer screens, more calm, and regular sleep hours. This can be just as powerful for fat loss as fasting itself. A rested body loses fat more easily. These aren't extreme changes, but they are transformational. And when practiced with care and consistency, your body responds with gratitude, and weight loss becomes a natural outcome, not a punishment. Honor your rhythm, embrace your season. Transform your results. Turning 40, 50, or beyond doesn't mean you've lost control of your body. It simply means the instruction manual has changed. And now, more than ever, your body is asking for attention, kindness, and smart strategy. You've learned that intermittent fasting can be a powerful tool when done the right way for you. You've seen how menopause affects metabolism, how insulin plays a hidden role, okay? And how stress and small adjustments can unlock real results. This is the time to let go of guilt, extremes, and shortcuts. What your body needs now is balance, consistency, and true self-care. It's not about losing weight at any cost. It's about living lighter, with health, energy, okay, and presence. So here's your challenge. Pick one tip from this video and start. Today, set a reminder on your phone, write it on a sticky note, or drop it in the comments below. Your commitment to yourself starts now. And if this video spoke to you, please give it a like, share it with another woman going through the same journey, and subscribe to the channel. It helps us reach more women and spread real science-backed support with empathy. Tell me in the comments, what's been your biggest challenge with intermittent fasting? I read them all, and your story might even inspire the next video. Until then, take care of yourself with the respect and kindness your body truly deserves.